Yeah, David and Colleen, an 81-year-old actor is dead and a Tarzana man is behind bars following a deadly stabbing yesterday morning.
He was dead before the paramedics even finished the paperwork. And look, the news gave you the headline: 81-year-old actor, Jumanji, Top Gun, stabbed in the chest, suspect arrested at the scene. But I need you to stay with me here, because the story they handed you on a Tuesday afternoon is missing about 4 layers of hell. And the deeper you go, the more you start realizing something. You already know what I'm about to say, don't you? The victim was James Handy. You've seen his face 100 times. He wasn't a star, not the kind they put on magazine covers. He was the working actor, the guy who showed up, delivered the truth of the scene, and walked away. Solid, professional, old Hollywood, and in his final hours, something happened inside that Tarzana home that the police blotter will never spell out for you. Here's what they admitted. The suspect, 44-year-old Michael Gledel, lived at that residence with his mother, who also happened to be James Handy's girlfriend. So you have a love triangle at 81 years old, a grown man living with mom, and a Hollywood veteran who thought he'd found companionship late in life. Then the knife came out, but here's where it gets interesting. Actually, wait, let me say that again. The suspect didn't run, didn't hide. He called 911 himself, said I killed a man. Then he flagged down police like he was waiting for a bus. That is not the behavior of someone who panicked. That is the behavior of someone who believed, deeply believed, he had no other choice. And that's the part nobody talks about. Because when you start pulling on the thread of Michael Gledel's life, you find a man already living in a different reality, diagnosed with schizophrenia, documented, known to the system, known to the mother who shared a roof with him and the elderly actor who walked through that front door every night. James Handy knew exactly who he was living around, and he stayed anyway. Why? You and I both know the answer. Hollywood doesn't pay most actors like Tom Cruise. Handy was 81, working regularly barely. Residuals? Dried up years ago? When you're that age in this industry, you take what shelter you can find, even if it comes with a ticking clock in the next bedroom. Now I'm going to slow down for a second, and I want you to really hear this. Think about the last year of that man's life. Every dinner, every late-night conversation, every moment he walked past Michael's door. He knew something was wrong. The family knew. The neighbors probably knew, but nobody intervened. Nobody moved him out. Nobody said this isn't safe. And now a decent character actor is dead, and the system that was supposed to track a diagnosed schizophrenic man just let the situation breathe until it exploded. That bothers me, personally. I don't like admitting that on camera, but it does. Because here's the larger thing nobody wants to connect. The FBI, the LAPD, the mental health bureaucracy. They all talk about isolated incidents. Every single time. This appears to be isolated. That's their favorite word. Isolated. Meaning don't look for a pattern. Don't ask why an untreated man with a documented break from reality was left inside a home with an 81-year-old. Don't ask why the girlfriend, his own mother, didn't make a different choice. And for God's sake, don't ask why the corporate news cycle buried this story below a car chase and a weather update. James Handy's final hours weren't a tragedy. Tragedies are accidents. This wasn't an accident. Not an accident at all. This was a slow-motion collapse that every institution involved saw coming. And the only person who paid the price was the one who couldn't afford to leave. So here's my question for you, and I want you to sit with it. How many more James Handys are living right now? Right this second. Inside homes they can't afford to leave, with people the system already knows are dangerous. You already know the answer, don't you? Say it in the comments. Because they're not going to.